does that mean it doesn't maybe necessarily value that he's a 4-year kid? You probably know what the ceiling is as opposed to, like you're saying, early in the drafts. You're projecting with this, you kind of know what you're getting.
Sure. I mean, you have 4 years of data. You've seen him get better each year. Now, I will say, I don't want to put a ceiling on him because he has, at every pass from high school to a senior in high school, being under-recruited, goes to Kansas. They redshirt him his freshman year. They lift the red shirt because he's doing so well in practice because he can compete and play. Grows his way to becoming, first-team All-American, Big 12 Player of the Year, a number of accolades that he grew towards. And so does he figure out in the NBA and have some upside? I think he does. But I think immediately we know what he's going to be able to do. He's going to defend. He's going to compete. And I know JB wants to run him off a lot of stuff and get him some shots. So certainly more of a finished product, to your point, than what we've drafted in the past.
Chris? So to that point, Koby, why do you feel like this organization is at that point where it's now time to draft that kind of player?
I think there's a few things. Is one, he was available at 14. And like I said, we loved his character, his makeup, his fit culturally. And we were one game away from the playoffs. And I do think that we definitely there's a need for that shooting piece. And not just stand still shooting, but really guys that can sprint off pin downs. And even if they're not getting the ball, you have to account for their movement away from the ball. He does several different actions that create meaningful offense. And so we got a little bogged down last year, a little stagnant at times. And so maybe he can sort of turn it up and make us harder to guard right away.
Do you view him as a 2 or a 3?
It's a good question. I would defer to Coach, but I think he's probably more of a 2, and Coach is going to use Dean Wade at the 3, and so we'll see. But I defer to Coach on how he's going to use him. But
all right, last 2, Cassie and then Marlon.
Kind of going off that, I mean, how important was it to add a way from the time how important was it to us?
Yeah, I the shooting piece was important. The fact that he could play wing, the fact that he could guard wing is great. I don't know if that went into it so much as the need for shooting. I don't want to put him on a pedestal and say this is the next great wing that we draft, but maybe it is. I do know that he fits a need right away, and he's going to compete, and he has that winning pedigree that we really like.
Do you really believe that, though, the winning at every level? Sometimes like you think about high school and college. I mean, do you believe that really does translate?
Well, we certainly hope. I don't have a study or on it, but I do know we like I said, the last few conference finals, you see. I don't want to say their names; they're going to say I'm tampering, but you definitely see some big time performers in these conference finals that have won national championships for their respective schools. And I also have a great deal of respect for Coach Self and what he does with his players and how he teaches them how to play the game. If you've ever been to Fog Allen Fieldhouse, you have to do it at some point. You have to do it. That is an absolute must for any basketball junkie. It's an incredible experience. They love basketball down there, and he's been in pressure-packed situations. So that stuff has to add up to something. And so we're excited about adding, like I said, a player from the Kansas basketball program.